Hey, I'm RejectedShotgun. So now that the anniversary event has concluded, the arcade has been shooken up a little bit, and the new modes that were added in the anniversary have been kept, and in fact Blizzard has decided to add a brand new game mode into the arcade that is a very different play style from any of the other modes that we have seen so far, and in my opinion it is incredibly addictive. So today we're gonna talk about it. Really quickly, I want to remind you guys to go check out my brother's channel. He goes by Cheap Dish Soap on YouTube, and he makes Overwatch and Destiny content. If that sounds like it's right up your alley, I highly recommend you go to his channel and subscribe. Make sure to check out his video, leave some likes and some love. He would really appreciate it. Now, let's get back to the video. So, during the anniversary event, we got an immensely huge change to both the 1v1 and 3v3 game modes, as well as, of course, getting 3 brand new arena maps that are perfectly suited for these game modes. Now, Blizzard has decided to make an entirely new game mode based upon the 3v3 and 1v1 modes. This is called 6v6 Lockout Elimination, and currently, as of making this video, it is the #1 spot on the arcade right now. Now, 6v6 Elimination is very similar to 3v3 Elimination, however, there are a few key differences. The first main one being, of course, there are 6 people on each team rather than 3 people. This is really interesting because this makes the game a lot more difficult and a lot more chaotic. Because this is a lockout game mode, that means that when you choose your character and you win a round, you're no longer able to pick that character at all. Now, in a 6v6 game mode, if you win 2 rounds, you have effectively completely removed half of the character roster. That means if you did double support for the first 2 rounds, you're only going to have 1 real healer left available to you. Or if you went all out on the attack heroes, you're probably going to have to play some defense heroes, because 12 characters completely X'd out from your team by winning 2 rounds means the other 12 characters on the roster of 24 are all that's left available to you. So you have to make sure that you pick and choose your characters wisely and don't leave yourself screwed on the 3rd round, because you very well could if you picked all the healers or all the attack characters, for example. Not having any tanks is doable, but is going to leave you in a fairly bad spot. Now, in my opinion, 3v3 is a very fun game mode, and it's made specifically for when you want to have those small group fights. But everyone in Overwatch knows that 6v6 is the most fun and interesting way to play the game. Now, I do love 3v3s, and I'll play my 1v1s for the loot boxes most weeks, but this new 6v6 game mode is incredibly fun, because taking the lockout idea and methods from 3v3s and applying it to a 6v6 game mode just makes for some incredibly interesting gameplay, as I'm sure you can see on screen. While this new 6v6 lockout isn't exactly a completely new and ingenious mode, I'm really glad to see that the lockout mechanics are being taken to a whole nother level, and it's extremely fun to actually play on these new arena maps with 6 people on each team. It is absolute chaos in some situations, but it actually works really well and is an incredibly fun time in larger maps like Necropolis. So if you haven't actually played this mode yet, you can go to the arcade and you can see if you win this mode one time, you will get instantly a free loot box. This is how all new modes on the arcade are treated. So make sure you go in there, you try out the mode, and you get your loot boxes. And don't forget, of course, the loot boxes have reset already 2 days ago. So if you haven't gotten your weekly loot boxes, don't forget to do so and get your free one from this mode as well, because it's a free loot box. Who doesn't want free loot? If you haven't checked out some of my other videos, I highly recommend you do. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and if you're new here, you should definitely subscribe. I'm making Overwatch news almost every day, so make sure that you're up to date with the newest in Overwatch. That's all for today, though. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace.
Like, follow, subscribe.